Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhare Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhare Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatiravanachare Yamunatiravanachare Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhare Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhare Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yamunatiravanachare Yamunatiravanachare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhare Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhare Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatiravanachare Yamunatiravanachari. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimate Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki. Grantaraja Srimad Bhagavatam Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswata Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Shatarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter number 5, and we have two verses today, 48 and 49, and on the board is the verse 49. So the verse 48 I will read myself, and then we together will read the verse 49. Tatte vayaṁ loka-sisṛkṣayādya tvayānusṛṣṭās tribhir sarve viyuktāḥ sva-vihāra-tantraṁ na śaknumas pratihartave. O original person, we are therefore but yours only. Although we are your creatures, we are born one after another under the influence of the three modes of nature. And for this reason, we are separated in action. Therefore, after the creation, we could not act concertedly for your transcendental pleasure. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The cosmic creation is working under the influence of the three modes of the external potency of the Lord. Different creatures are also under the same influence, and therefore they cannot act concertedly in satisfying the Lord. Because of this diverse activity, there cannot be any harmony in the material world. The best policy, therefore, is to act for the sake of the Lord. That will bring about the desired harmony. And the verse number 49. Yavad balim te jahara makale. Yavad balim te jahara makale. Yatha vayam cha namadāmayatra. Yatha vayam cha namadāmayatra. Yatho vayesham taimehi loka. Yatho vayesham taimehi loka. Balim haranto namadanchanuha. Balim haranto namadanchanuha. Yavad balim te jahara makale. Yatha vayam cha namadāmayatra. Yatho vayesham taimehi loka. balim haranto namadanchanuha. Yavad balim te jaharamakale. Balim haranto namadanchanuha. Yavad balim te jaharamakale. Yatha vayaṁ ca namadāmayatra. Yatho vayesham taimehi loka. Balim haranto namadanchanuha. Yavad balim te jaharamakale. Yatha vayaṁ ca namadāmayatra. Yatho vayesham taimehi loka. Balim haranto namadanchanuha. Ladies, please. Yavad balim te jaharamakale. Yatha vayaṁ ca namadāmayatra. Yatho vayesham taimehi loka. Balim haranto namadanchanuha. Yavad balim te jaharamakale. Yatha vayaṁ ca namadāmayatra. Yatho vayesham taimehi loka. Balim haranto namadanchanuha. Yavad, as it may be, balim, offerings, te, your, ādya, O unborn one, harama, shall offer, kale, at the right time, yatha, as much as, vayam, we, cha, also, anam, food grains, adama, shall partake, yatra, whereupon, yatha, as much as, ubhayesha, both for you and for us, te, all, ime, this, he, certainly, loka, living entities, balim, offerings, harantaha, while offering, anam, grains, adanti, eat, anuha, without disturbance. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki. O unborn one, please enlighten us regarding the ways and means by which we can offer you all enjoyable grains and commodities, so that both we and all other living entities in this world can maintain ourselves without disturbance and can easily accumulate the necessities of life both for you and for ourselves. Purport. Developed consciousness begins from the human form of life and further increases in the forms of the demigods living in higher planets. The earth is situated almost in the middle of the universe, and the human form of life is the via medium between the life of the demigods and that of the demons. The planetary systems above the earth are especially meant for the higher intellectuals called demigods. They are called demigods because although their standard of life is far more advanced in culture, enjoyment, luxury, beauty, education, and duration of life, they are always fully God-conscious. Such demigods are always ready to render service to the Supreme Lord because they are perfectly aware of the fact that every living entity is constitutionally an eternal subordinate servitor of the Lord. They also know that it is the Lord only who can maintain all living entities with all the necessities of life. The Vedic hymns, Eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman, taenam abruvan ayatanam, nach prajanihi yasmin pratishtita anam adame, etc., confirm this truth. In Bhagavad Gita also, the Lord is mentioned as Bhuta Bhrit, or the maintainer of all living creatures. The modern theory that starvation is due to an increase in population is not accepted by the demigods or the devotees of the Lord. The devotees or demigods are fully aware that the Lord can maintain any number of living entities, provided they are conscious of how to eat. If they want to eat like ordinary animals who have no God consciousness, then they must live in starvation, poverty, and want, like the jungle animals in the forest. The jungle animals are also maintained by the Lord with their respective foodstuffs, but they are not advanced in God consciousness. Similarly, human beings are provided with food grains, vegetables, fruits, and milk by the grace of the Lord, but it is the duty of human beings to acknowledge the mercy of the Lord. As a matter of gratitude, they should feel obliged to the Lord for their supply of foodstuff, and they must first offer Him food in sacrifice and then partake of the remnants. In Bhagavad Gita 3.13, it is confirmed that one who takes foodstuff after a performance of sacrifice eats real food for proper maintenance of the body and soul. But one who cooks for himself and does not perform any sacrifice eats only lumps of sin in the shape of foodstuffs. Such sinful eating can never make one happy or free from scarcity. Famine is not due to an increase in population, as less intelligent economists think. When human society is grateful to the Lord for all His gifts for the maintenance of the living entities, then there is certainly no scarcity or want in society. But when men are unaware of the intrinsic value of such gifts from the Lord, surely they are in want. A person who has no God consciousness may live in opulence for the time being due to his past virtuous acts. But if one forgets his relationship with the Lord, certainly he must await the stage of starvation by the law of the powerful material nature. One cannot escape the vigilance of the powerful material nature unless he leads a God-conscious or devotional life. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamahyam dadati svapadantika vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karochi Vichalam Pangum Hadite Girim Yat Kripata Mahamvade Shri Gurum Jinatanaram Guru Vaishnav Bhagavan Tinara Smarana Hoy Vigna Vinashana Nayasya Hoy Nija Vanchita Puram Yuntah Pravisham Avachim Am Prasuptam Sanjivayatya Kila Shakti Darasvadamna Anyam Shtahasta Charana Shravanat Vagadim Pranan Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas. So today we are reading 2 verses, and maybe I should remind what was in the previous verse. There are 2 verses and 2 little bit different topics. In the previous verse, it was said, O original person, we are therefore but yours only. Although we are your creatures, we are born one after another under the influence of the 3 modes of nature, and for this reason we are separated in action. Therefore, after the creation, we could not act concertedly for your transcendental pleasure. So, we are continuing reading the prayers of the demigods, and in the purport to the verse number 49, Srila Prabhupada, in the beginning, he explains who are these demigods. But there are 2 types of demigods. These demigods were created before the secondary creation done by Lord Brahma. So there are basically 2 main types of creation. Primary first creation and secondary creation. And these demigods were existing before Lord Brahma has created this universe. So these demigods are also called adhishtatri devatas. And they are offering prayers to the Lord. And their prayers consist of 2 parts. As a matter of etiquette, first of all, they are glorifying the Supreme Lord, or especially they are glorifying the lotus feet of the Lord. How powerful are lotus feet of the Lord, and why we should take shelter of these lotus feet. And in the second part of their prayers, they are asking for something from the Lord. And starting from today's 2 verses till the verse number 51, demigods will be asking from the Lord some benediction. So, demigods, they had a problem. Which problem did they have? They were separated under the influence of the 3 modes of material nature, and they cannot do their service properly. So everyone in this world has desires. It's not bad necessarily that we have desires. We can desire to serve the Supreme Lord properly. We can have such kind of desires. So these demigods, they have particular desire. They want to offer them the universe. And they had a problem. They were separated under the influence of the 3 modes of material nature. And yesterday, Prabhuji was speaking that our process, Bhakti Yoga, is the most easy process among all other spiritual processes. At the one hand, it is true, but at the other hand, it may not be so. Because if you consider some yogis who perform austerities surrounded by fires, under the heat, they do it separately. They may be sitting alone under the sun. They do not need to communicate with others. But maybe the most difficult austerity in Kali Yuga is to cooperate with other living entities. But in Bhakti Yoga, we have to cooperate. We are not able to gain any profit if we will not cooperate with devotees. Asadu Sangi Bhai, Krishna Nam Nahi Hoy, Namakar Bahirai Bate, Tabu Namaka Banoi. I believe this is from Prema Vivarta. this verse says that without association of devotees, we will not able to chant the holy name properly. More than that, actually, for us, maybe it's not difficult to follow four regulated principles. We can follow and to chant 16 rounds every day, but actually this is very, very advanced level to follow four regulated principles. One Lord in England told Bhakti Pradip Tirtha Maharaj, it's impossible. That's our life. And we are able to follow these principles and to chant every day 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra at least, because we have association of devotees. Without devotees we cannot do anything. Therefore, in the Shastra it is said, Sangha Chakti Kalau Yagya. In Kali Yuga, the force is in Sangha. And these demigods, they were separated and therefore they were praying to the Lord. And there is a similar verse in the 4th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Pritha Maharaj is praying to the Lord. He is saying, Tanmaya Yadha Janaisha Kandito. Oh my Lord, all living entities are separated due to the influence of your Maya. So this is a problem, we are separated, and it will be very good, very great achievement if we can do some service cooperatedly for the satisfaction of Srila Prabhupada. And this is the first topic in today's 2 verses. And cooperation is not easy, but it must be done anyway. And once Srila Prabhupada came to India with his Western devotees, I believe it was in Mayapur, maybe you will correct me if I'm wrong, and 2 devotees, they started fighting, physically fighting between each other. And some people outside, one man outside, he was shocked. Oh, Swamiji, I'm surprised. Your disciples are fighting, Srila Prabhupada told. You are surprised they are fighting. I am surprised they are chanting Hare Krishna. So it's not so surprisingly, because our ISKCON movement, it's not just movement of some saints who came down from the spiritual world. This is movement for everyone. Everyone can join this movement, and everyone has a chance for purification. And actually everyone who joins this movement is very exalted, is glorious. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said, Jai Bhaja Sai Bora Bhakta Hinachar, Krishna Bhajani Nahi Jati Kula Vichar. No matter from which family you are coming, anyone who is serving Krishna is glorious. And this cooperation is very dear for Srila Prabhupada. All of us know the famous statements of Srila Prabhupada, how we can demonstrate our love for him. And Srila Prabhupada was very concerned in his life that his followers should cooperate with each other. Srila Prabhupada was very unhappy that his god brothers were not cooperating with him. Only some of them were helping him. They were sending some musical instruments when he was in the West. And Srila Prabhupada was very unhappy with that. And also, I found 2 very interesting stories from one very interesting book. It's called Gargamani. Is there anyone who read this book? Gargamani by Gargamuni Prabhu. I highly recommend it to read. Memories of Gargamuni Prabhu, or previously Gargamuni Maharaj, about Srila Prabhupada. It's just amazing book. And Gargamuni Prabhu, he's telling the story about cooperation, and first it's connected to new temple in Los Angeles. Although Srila Prabhupada wanted to build a temple, he considered the needs of the devotees and so finally chose to purchase the Vatsaka Avenue property. Now Los Angeles temple is situated on the Vatsaka Avenue. When I told Srila Prabhupada that I didn't have enough money he told me to call the other temples and ask them to help. I told Srila Prabhupada that no one will give me money. But he insisted, saying, no, they have to give you money. I asked, why? Srila Prabhupada said, because you are Gargamuni. And Gargamuni Prabhu, he was previously very successful businessman, and in Krishna consciousness movement, he was also very successful in earning money. So Srila Prabhupada called him Gargamuni. So Srila Prabhupada said, because you are Gargamuni, they are obliged to give you money. I said, can I repeat what you have said? Srila Prabhupada said, yes. And so I called Madhudvisha in San Francisco and told him, Srila Prabhupada said that my name is Gargamuni and that you must give us some money so that we can purchase a new building in Los Angeles. And in such a way, Madhudvisha, or Gargamuni Prabhu was able to collect enough money and he purchased this building in Vatsaka Avenue. So Srila Prabhupada, we can see from this example how Srila Prabhupada was willingly forced his disciples to cooperate between each other. And later he also asked all the temple presidents in America to send to India at least 50 devotees to help him in spreading this movement. But the temple presidents, they sent actually devotees, but they were not going to send the leaders. And unfortunately, it did not help much for Srila Prabhupada. And another example, that Srila Prabhupada asked temple presidents to send money for building in Mayapur huge prasadam hall for 1,000 people. And Gargamuni Prabhu sent letters to different temple presidents asking some money, but no one sent anything. And Srila Prabhupada was very unhappy. He was very unhappy because he expected his disciples to cooperate. And he personally sent messages to temple presidents and asked, please send the money to Gargamuni Prabhu. So we really can please Srila Prabhupada if we can cooperate between each other. But in this verse also there is one important point Srila Prabhupada is making in the purport. Nowadays, at least in my country, devotees are very concerned. How can we build loving relationships in the devotees community? This is important. But one point we should remember, that these relationships should be built around the center, around the service to Krishna. Krishna should be the center. And if Krishna is in the center, then all the relationships will be built generally, naturally. Of course, there may be some specific cases. Some devotees may have some difficulties because of previous karma in previous lives, and such cases should be dealt with individually. But generally, we should not forget our goal. If we don't have a goal, if we don't have a goal to serve Srila Prabhupada together, that what is the value of having loving relationships? And Srila Prabhupada says, in the material world, it's impossible to create loving relationships. In this regard, it can be suitable to read one verse from the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's famous verse 4.30.8. Lord is speaking to Prachetasas. Varam vrinitham bhadram vo yuyam minri vanandanaha sauhardana pritag dharmas tushtoham sauhride navaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear sons of the King, I am very much pleased by the friendly relationships among you. All of you are engaged in one occupation, devotional service. I am so pleased with your mutual friendship that I wish you all good fortune. Now you may ask a benediction of me. And Srila Prabhupada is saying, the unity of the individual souls attempting to satisfy the Supreme Lord or rendering service to the Lord is real unity. In the material world, such unity is not possible. What is material world? Material world is the place where people do not serve Krishna. So we may want to have some good life with Krishna. We may want to have good family and good relationship between the devotees and do some service from time to time. But our lives should be concentrating on serving Srila Prabhupada, of satisfying Srila Prabhupada. And in this case, we can forgive other devotees their faults. This is the only way actually to live in this life. And famous quotation from Srila Prabhupada also in this purport. Actually, in Krishna consciousness, there cannot be two opinions. But we see that there are different opinions on many different subject matters. Should we eat chocolate? Can we eat chocolate or not? And others. But these questions are not primary questions. The main question is how to serve Krishna, how to please Srila Prabhupada. If Srila Prabhupada is in the center, all other problems can be solved. Therefore, there cannot be two opinions in the Krishna consciousness movement. There is only one goal, to serve Krishna to one's best ability. If there is some disagreement over service, such disagreement is to be taken as spiritual. So it's not a problem if we have disagreements. But if Krishna is at the center, it's all right. Those who are actually engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be disunited in any circumstances. So let's put Krishna in the center. And this is the only way how to cooperate between such different devotees. And in the second verse, so demigods, they are saying, we have a problem, we are disunited. So please, O Lord, please help us. And why? Why should the Lord help them? Because they have a goal. Which goal? And it's explained in the verse 49. They wanted to give to the Lord the universe, and they want to establish the principle of yajna. And second verse is speaking on the principle of yajna. And Srila Prabhupada, in his purport, he is saying, we should learn how to eat. This is the first basic necessity of the material body, is to eat. And Lord Krishna has created this world in such a way that we should eat. And by eating, we can also satisfy the Supreme Lord. This is a law of this world. And this principle is formulated in Bhagavad Gita, in beautiful Bhagavad Gita, in the first chapter. There are a series of verses where Krishna is explaining how this world is developed, is created. Yagyathat karmano nyatra lokayam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. So, any work should be performed for the sacrifice of Lord Vishnu. Otherwise, it will cause sinful reactions. And then the principle. In the beginning of creation, sahayagyah prajah srištva purovacha prajapatihi. The Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods along with sacrifices for Vishnu and blessed them by saying, be thou happy by this yajna, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. And the demigods, being pleased by sacrifices, will also please you, and thus, by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will reign for all. In these verses, Krishna is speaking. So, if we want to live happily in this world, we must do sacrifices, we must do yajna. And it's very simple to offer food for the Lord. This is a very simple sacrifice, the most simple. Because Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he is saying, Patram pushpam balam tvayam yame bhaktya prayachhati tadaham bhaktyupahritam ashnami prayatatmanaha. And the Lord is very generously asking us to offer very simple items. Just water, some leaf, some fruit, and flour. And by this verse, vanaprasthas can exist, because vanaprasthas and yogis, they live in the forest, and they cannot offer the Lord more than fruits and flowers. So Lord Krishna is very generously, he is not asking to offer more than fruits and flowers. So he is very generously asking for us. And actually, this is the unique quality, the unique characteristic of Hare Krishna movement, of Vedic culture, that we can feed Krishna. Krishna is satisfied in himself, but Naivatmanah prabhurayam nijalabha purna manam janada vidushah karano vrinite. Krishna is completely satisfied within himself, but for the sake of us, if we do some service for Krishna, then we will get some purification, we will be benefited. So Krishna is saying, I'm hungry, please feed me, in this verse. So it's our duty to feed Krishna. And in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is raising a very important problem, the problem of famine and scarcity in this world, the problem of overpopulation. And Srila Prabhupada is saying this problem is not a real problem, because the Mother Earth can give any amount of foodstuff. One of the names of Mother Earth is Vasundhara. What does it mean? Vasu means wealth, and Dhara means one who holds. And Mother Earth, Vasundhara, has potency to feed everyone, any number of living entities. And this is one of the gifts that we can give to the world. We can educate them that there is no problem of scarcity. We should learn how to eat. The example is given in the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, example of the reign of Yudhishthir Maharaj. Kamam vavar shapar janyah sarva kama dugha mahi sisṛkṣayā vrajan gavah payasoda svatir muda. When Yudhishthir Maharaj was ruling the universe, the world, cows were so happy and they were giving so much milk that how it's said, the cow used to moisten the grazing ground with milk. So it's quite possible. It's quite possible. And in this regard, I want to tell you one story. It happened very long ago. This story is very relevant to us. This is very educational story. It's described, by the way, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto. The story is connected to Prithva Maharaj. Again, we are quoting today first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and there was a problem. When there was a king, very sinful king, Maharaja Vena, very sinful king, but Brahmanas, they were forced to put him on a throne, but after some time they had to kill him, and from his body they churned the Prithva Maharaj, the incarnation of Godhead. And when Prithva Maharaj was coronated, he was established as a king, immediately what did he do? He approached the Mother Earth, and actually he wanted to kill Mother Earth because she was concealing the foodstuffs, the grains. And Mother Earth was shocked. And she took form of a cow and started running away from the king. And she was pleading, please save my life. Please don't kill me. You see, I am a cow, I am a mother. And you also is my husband. No, he is my savior, by the way. And my husband also. We remember when by the misdeeds of Hiranyaksha, the Mother Earth fell down from her position. Lord incarnated in the form of Varahadev, and he saved the earth, and by that a son was born. So actually, Prithva Maharaja is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was the savior of Mother Earth, and on the other hand, he was the husband of Mother Earth. And she was pleading, please don't kill me. I am sinless. Why you are wanting to kill me? But Prithu Maharaj said, no, I will kill you because you are very sinful. You have committed so great sin. You're concealing the grains. Without grains, without food, my sons, living entities, they cannot eat, they cannot live, and they cannot offer me sacrifices. And because of that, demigods also cannot live, cannot sustain themselves. So he was willing to kill Mother Earth. And what happened? She started praying to the Maharaja Prithu, and eventually she started to explain why she did this. And we should understand, we should remember this very carefully, what happened. She's saying, my dear king, the seeds, roots, herbs and grains which were created by Lord Brahma in the past are now being used by non-devotees who are devoid of all spiritual understanding. My dear king, not only are grains and herbs being used by non-devotees, but as far as I am concerned, I am not being properly maintained. Indeed, I am being neglected by kings who are not punishing these rascals who have turned into thieves by using grains for sense gratification. Consequently, I have hidden all these seeds which were meant for the performance of sacrifice. So this is example how we can solve the problem of famine. The Mother Earth, she is hiding food grains and foodstuffs because they were misused by non-devotees. So this is a problem in the present world, and Srila Prabhupada in his purports to that chapter, Canto 4, chapter 18, almost in every verse he is saying that because of the misdeeds of non-devotees, because people were trying to enjoy food, the motherland, she stopped giving food to us. So if we want to solve the problem, we must teach other people how to eat and how to do sacrifice for the sake of the Lord. Only because of that we can be happy in this material world. And it's not just a theory, there are practical proofs of that. And Srila Prabhupada himself, he is explaining this rule. He is giving an example from his own life. We know during the life of Srila Prabhupada, India faced, and the whole world faced a big problem, the Second World War, and Srila Prabhupada was staying in Calcutta. It was the year 1942, and in India it was a huge famine in Bengal. And in one lecture in 1966 in New York, Srila Prabhupada was telling to his disciples in this case. In 1942, there was a manufactured famine in Bengal by the manipulation of the government. The price of rice has raised from 75 cents to $10. So many people were in difficulty, and so many people died for want of food, diseases, famine, because when there is a want of food, but you will be surprised, those who were in some way or other in touch with devotional service, I inquired from them individually, and I was satisfied that they were not only in difficulty even in that time circumstances. Even from the villages I inquired that, were you in difficulty? They replied, no, we have no difficulty. Some way or other we are managing. So this is a practical example. Devotees, they will have sufficient food. Maybe in some special circumstances due to very horrible karma, or maybe due to some special will of the Lord, devotees may also starve, but generally devotees, they are not starving. And we should teach other people how to do it. Actually, Srila Prabhupada, of course, in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying we should educate people how to perform yagya. And of course, The yagya in this age is Sankirtan yagya. We should educate people how to perform Sankirtan yagya, but not only that, we should teach them how to eat. Actually, this is one kind of preaching, and I want to share my own experience. I was living in Moscow, and we were organizing cooking classes for general people. Anyone could come for cooking classes, and about from 10 to 30 people used to come every week for our classes, because actually in the Western world people do not know how to cook. That's true. They don't know how to cook. Only in Krishna consciousness they can learn how to cook nice, tasty preparations for the Lord. And these courses were open, no payment, but they have to give some donation. But anyway, we were teaching them how to cook, and really nice food, really nice dishes. And after the class, we were learning them how to offer food to the Lord. No one was objecting. No one objected. No one told that we are Christians, we are not Hindus, why should we offer food? No, they all accepted. Because, why? Because we did not ask for any payment from them. Only some donations, 1 ruble at least. You can give, that's all. So we were in the mood of giving only. And this mood is touching, actually. And after offering, we were distributing prasadam, and ahara shuddha sattva shuddhih, sattva shuddha rudravau smritihi, smritir labdhe sarvagranhinam vipramokshaha. Srila Prabhupada is quoting this verse in the Bhagavad Gita. By taking prasad, our consciousness becomes purified, and with that purifying consciousness, we can understand the absolute truth. So some of the people, they became devotees, and actually this is very important type of preaching, to educate people how to offer food to the Lord. At least in Western countries, these courses can be conducted everywhere. It's a very good type of preaching for grihastas, actually. So we can recommend this to do such type of preaching. So this was an example how Mother Land, she was concealing some foodstuffs, but when Pritha Maharaja was put on a throne, Pritha Maharaja was pious king, therefore she gave back all the ingredients, all the seeds and fruits, everything, all the herbs. This is also one lesson for us. So maybe we may want to build some temple, to create some project, and we need money, but actually there is no scarcity of money also. But Krishna may be waiting when some responsible administrator comes, because the money should not be misused in Krishna's service. So we should be prepared for that. We should be prepared to get money. And I remember last winter, Srimad Bhavananda Prabhu, he was speaking about Srila Prabhupada. He was saying, once Srila Prabhupada said, there is no problem of money. This problem doesn't exist, simply, in this world. Money is everywhere. They are floating in the air. We just need to take out our hand and take them. We should know how to take money, but we should be prepared. If we are willing to serve Krishna, if we know how to use money, and if we have this sincere mood to serve Krishna, then everything will be all right. So this is the main, what we should learn, how to be sincere in Krishna's service. And once devotees asked Srila Prabhupada, "Oh Srila Prabhupada, now we are going to educate people how to distribute books." Srila Prabhupada said, "What is that? How do you want to educate?" "Oh, how to approach people on the street, how to ask for donations." And Srila Prabhupada said, "The most important thing you have to teach devotees, and you must teach them how to be sincere." So sincerity is the force, purity is the force. Purity means actually also sincerity. If we are sincere, Krishna will provide us all the necessities we need. So this lesson we can learn from today's verses. And so we must perform yajna, we must perform Sankirtan yajna. This is must. And also we can educate people how to offer food to the Lord, how to eat properly. Then there will be no scarcity and this problem can be solved. Actually, our movement can solve all the problems in this world. We just need to do it. And this is one practical way how to do. We may perform cooking classes during festivals, some festivals. We also, during Ratha Yatra festival, we have some small pandal. We were conducting cooking classes there. It can be done online also. In different forms we can do it. And Krishna will be pleased and there will be no scarcity of food. And this is real practical solution of solving the real practical problem in this world. So I will stop here. If you have any questions, please, we can discuss it now. Mataji has a question.
Krishna, thank you for the beautiful class. You said, Prabhupada said first, teach devotees how to be sincere. Can you explain to us how we can be sincere?
How can we be sincere? Sincerity in serving Krishna, this quality is not from this material world. In this material world, it's not possible to find this quality, sincerity. It doesn't exist here. It's spiritual quality because desire to serve Krishna, it comes from the spiritual world. So we can be sincere, we can learn sincerity from sincere devotees only. And when Srila Prabhupada was here, he was encouraging so many devotees to follow him because he was sincere. And this is the rule how Krishna consciousness is spreading in this world. If we are sincere, this energy attracts other people to do something for Krishna. If we are sincerely trying to do some service, some project, actually, often where there is a leader who is very inspired, this inspiration, it comes to others also. And when this leader is sincerely trying to satisfy Krishna, do something for Srila Prabhupada, this mood will be spread also. So that's how can we learn. For example, we can remember our famous saint, the first saint of ISKCON, Jayananda Prabhu. He was so sincere, so people were attracted to him. And also in Russia, there is one famous book distributor. He left his body 10 years back in Yamuna. He was bitten by a snake in the Yamuna, very auspicious actually, very auspicious death. And when he left his body, after 1 year, after 2 years, people were coming to the temple. Where is this Prabhu? Where is this Prabhu? He distributed me books. He is so nice. I want to meet him because of this quality of sincerity. So associate with sincere devotees and don't associate with crooked people, because we should try to save this quality of sincerity. Hare Krishna.
Хотел спросить, также в распространении книг нужно знать какие-то секреты, не правда ли? Какие-то психологические секреты.
The question was a comment. Should we also learn some practical hints how to distribute books? Of course, there are some rules in every service. In every type of service, there are some rules. For example, in collecting money, how to approach people properly, how not to approach people. But the main quality is sincerity, and of course, there are some rules. We are not against rules, but just the main principle is sincerity. Is what you want to add something?
Что если у нас мы опираемся только на приемы, то мы долго не сможем распространять. Только искренность даст нам долгое, возможность распространять книги, правда?
Is it true that only if we are sincere, we can distribute books for a long time? I'm not so experienced book distributor, but I have some examples of devotees. I had one friend. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, he was distributing books on the street, some karmic books. It was the source of his income, and he was very expert. In Krishna consciousness, he became #1 book distributor in Moscow for some time, but for a short time, unfortunately. But if sincerity is there, then everything else will be all right. But what attracts people who meet devotees? It's sincerity. Their purity is attractive. You may not distribute many books, but if you are sincere, if you are pure in your service, this mood will be spread. So this is.
Thank you for the wonderful class. Here in the purport, Prabhupada says that the society, they should develop gratitude for the Lord. Then that is when all the solutions will come, when they'll offer it to the Lord, the grains and everything. So, but the current society is going in the opposite direction, ungrateful, you are the greatest. Then how do we see the hope that we can get them to be grateful to the Lord? How we can develop that mood of the people, outside people in general?
Krishna is helping to develop such a mood because he puts people in such strong miseries. There are so many wars in the world, so many problems, and people, they are asking why I'm suffering, why did I do what I'm doing wrong. So in such circumstances, they are becoming very favorable to accept Krishna consciousness. So Krishna is helping on the one hand. On the other hand, we should demonstrate our example how to be happy in this world. And this happiness attracts people. So we should share with people our happiness by different means, like cooking classes, like Harinam, Sankirtan, etc. That's all. Hare Krishna, thank you very much for your kind attention. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande.